Hey, Retcon Raider here. Well, we're headed into April, so I guess we're pretty overdue for our February retrospective. I meant to get to this earlier, but honestly, between Varnhold's Lot and Backer Build 4, I've really had my hands full. Besides, to be perfectly honest, February was just another rather slow and uneventful month. That's not to say that nothing happened, just that nothing particularly interesting happened. I started up my new production schedule, I started experimenting with mid-episode ad breaks, and Adpocalypse 3.0 quietly faded away. I suppose that does still give me something to talk about, but first, let's take a quick look at the numbers. Now, according to the analytics, we ended up getting roughly 250 new subscribers and 77,000 global views throughout February. All things considered, that's not too bad. Granted, those numbers could have certainly been better, but they do at least seem to be a slight improvement over the numbers we saw back in January. Honestly, given all the drama and controversy surrounding the latest of the short-lived adpocalypses, I think I'll consider that a win. After all, even though I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, I'm still a pretty small and inconsequential channel. The simple fact that I've managed to even survive all these crises with my channel intact is already pretty impressive. Anyway, Adpocalypse aside, I did notice some other odd behavior from YouTube over the past couple of months. Most notably, it looks like they rolled out yet another experimental algorithm, this time one that adds seemingly random ad breaks to previously published content. In theory, this new program is supposed to scan your videos and then predict the best spots to insert new ad breaks. More ads means more money, so I can certainly understand their intentions, especially in the wake of yet another adpocalypse. Unfortunately, much like the dreaded demonetization bot from 2018, the problem here is that the new ad break bot just doesn't work. Basically, if you've watched any videos recently, especially from bigger channels, then you've probably noticed that the ads are a little more obnoxious than usual. Mid-episode ad breaks are suddenly more frequent than ever before, and they often travel in packs, inserting themselves into videos in mid-scene or even mid-sentence. This is almost always the work of the new ad bot, because YouTube apparently decided to make it an opt-out experiment rather than an opt-in. In my case, I didn't even notice what was going on until YouTube had already inserted random ad breaks into several of my older videos. I went back and cleaned out most of them, but given that I've got almost 500 videos on my playlist at this point, a few of them might have slipped through the cracks. I ultimately ended up disabling the automated ad placer, though I will admit, it did get me thinking about the potential for properly placed ad breaks. Now, as a general rule, I've always tried to avoid that sort of thing in the past. My videos used to be less than 20 minutes long, and I always felt like ad breaks would disrupt the overall flow of the episode. More recently, though, I've been getting into the habit of making longer and longer videos, often clocking in at over 40 minutes long. I do like being able to provide more content per video, but with ad rates dropping due to the recent adpocalypse, it's been getting harder to justify the extra hours of work that go into those extra long episodes. That said, I recently started experimenting with hand-placed ad breaks. Never more than one per video, and only in videos that are over 40 minutes long. I try to place these ad breaks at natural breaking points in the episode, during map transitions, or just as the party is setting up camp. I like to think that makes it a less jarring transition, and thus far, no one has actually complained about them. Look, I'll be frank here. Even though my channel is modestly successful, the revenue is practically non-existent. I get enough from ads to ensure a monthly paycheck from YouTube, but pretty much all of that is immediately eaten by the overhead that comes with making these videos. Based on what I've seen so far, those new ad breaks amount to roughly 30% more ad revenue per video, which isn't much, but it does help keep my channel out of the danger zone. Anyway, I think we've talked about ads quite enough for one day, so let's just move on, shall we? Now, going back to the analytics, it looks like Phoenix Point is still my best performing series. I know it's a controversial subject right now, but just to make it clear, I am still planning on talking about the game. You guys know me, I've never been one to jump on the controversy bandwagon, even though it would guarantee me some quick and easy views. While I do understand that there are a lot of folks out there who are upset at Snapshot Games right now, for me, it's always been about the games, not the controversies or corporate politics surrounding them. It also looks like Pathfinder Kingmaker has maintained its spot as my second most popular series, which is great because I really enjoy making those videos. In fact, as of just a few weeks ago, I even added a second short-run Kingmaker series to my rotation, focusing on the new Varnhold's Lot DLC. Given the relative success of my Kingmaker series, I've actually started keeping an eye out for similar semi-narrative RPGs to talk about in the future, since that really seems to fit my personal presentation style. I've already got my eye on a number of likely prospects, including games like Disco Elysium and Stygian: Reign of the Old Ones. But, as always, I'm certainly open to suggestions. Aside from that, I've also got my eye on a couple of classics, Battle Brothers and Battletech, two of the games that helped build my channel. Both of those titles are about to get some major new DLC, so that might be just the excuse I need to start making videos about them again, assuming I can fit it into my already cluttered production schedule. I'll also admit that I do have my eye on games like Outer Worlds and Borderlands 3, but those are the sorts of games that don't really match my presentation style. I'll almost certainly end up playing them anyway, but that'll mostly just be for me. Sorry about that. At any rate, I think that's just about it for February. Like I said, it was a pretty quiet month. We'll go ahead and cut things short for now, but let's just hope that things get a little more exciting as we move into April. Anyway, I'd like to wrap things up by giving thanks to you, the viewers. It's thanks to people like you that I can keep making these videos. Every time you hit the like or subscribe button, leave a comment, or even just watch one of my videos, it helps the channel grow. Things may seem a little slow for now, but hey, we're still growing on a daily basis. I certainly can't complain about that. Oh, and of course, I'd also like to give special thanks to my patrons, both past and present. Those are the folks who are just plain generous enough to help support the channel financially. It's thanks to people like them that I can actually afford things like new games and expensive equipment upgrades. Not to mention the numerous crowdfunding projects that I do love to talk about. That said, special thanks to my honorary raiders from February: Addam Hall, Austin Fagan, Benjamin Gray, Biogolem, Brad Quinn, Cecil Kane, James Trimmier, Mark Richards, Maximilian Monke, Mr. Scar Lectures, Pontus Lundberg, and Stjepan Lovasic. And extra special thanks to my veteran raiders from February: AdriRaven, Ash, Drakiith, Drunken Gunslinger, Exsellsior, Forbidden One, IceApple23, Jonathan Tanner, Laura and Mike, Mildly Nuclear, Sir Skelibate, Valinrook, and Woe77. And of course, special mention to Revenant and Rowan Church, my Raider Lord and Captain respectively. As usual, those two are the only people crazy enough to keep supporting my channel at the two highest tiers, even though it doesn't really come with any extra rewards. Well, aside from my eternal thanks. Now, if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to check out the links to my PayPal and Patreon accounts in the description below. The channel's still small, so I can't really afford much in the way of rewards, but I can promise that any support you throw my way will help me continue making videos on a regular basis. It will also give you access to things like my boring daily blog posts, polls to help decide my future content, and a higher chance of naming one of the characters when I play games like Battle Brothers or Darkest Dungeon. Anyway, that's my allotted time for begging this month, so let's just wrap this up. This is Retcon Raider, signing off. And, seriously, thanks for listening. Oh, and remember, if you need to contact me for any reason, you can do it through the comment section on any of my videos. Or you can reach me through my Facebook page, my Patreon account, or my official email address. As always, links are in the description.